Right now, let's go into introducing the entire Astrium System. The Astrium System, a stunning heavenly body of planets and moons, extended across the velvet material of space, washed in the delicate sparkle of far-off stars. Each divine body in this lively system flaunted its own remarkable excellence, from the bone-dry deserts of Ventra to the mechanical wonders of Aurora and the rich, verdant heaven of Elysia. Together, they formed an agreeable mosaic of life and culture under the generous oversight of the United Galactic Alliance, UGA. In the core of the system, the focal center of the UGA, circled peacefully. This gigantic space station, known as the Nexus, was a signal of progress and solidarity. Smooth starships hummed around the Nexus like honeybees around a hive, shipping representatives, researchers, dealers, and globetrotters between universes. The UGA had manufactured a brilliant time of harmony and flourishing, cultivating collaboration and shared knowledge among the planets of Astrium. On Ventra, the clamoring city of Pyros sat settled against the scenery of transcending sand hills. Its business sectors flourished with movement, merchants selling everything from rare spices to advanced technologies. Youngsters played in the shadow of antiquated sculptures, while explorers tasted cool refreshments in concealed bistros. Individuals of Ventra were strong and creative, formed by their current circumstance however joined in their versatility. Aurora's horizon sparkled with transcending high-rises made of glass and steel, mirroring the ceaseless sundown of the planet's sky. Maglev trains zipped quietly among structures, and the roads beneath were an ensemble of lights and sounds. In research labs and colleges, probably the most brilliant personalities in the system worked energetically, pushing the limits of science and innovation. The residents of Aurora were driven by development, continuously seeking the stars for their next leap forward. Elysia, conversely, was a safe haven of quietness. Moving slopes of emerald green extended as should have been obvious, dabbed with perfectly clear lakes and thick, old backwoods. The engineering on Elysia was intended to mix consistently with the natural world, and its occupants lived as one with their current circumstance. Spirituality and a deep connection to nature were at the heart of Elysian culture, with meditation and communal rituals playing a significant role in daily life. This charming equilibrium, be that as it may, was going to be tried. Unbeknownst to the occupants of Astrium, a shadow was crawling across their quiet presence, proclaiming the start of a new and dangerous part. In this section comes the first signs of disturbances. The first sign of trouble came quietly, almost imperceptibly, like a whisper on the wind. It started with inconspicuous energy vacillations identified by the UGA's huge network of sensors. In the control room of the Nexus, professionals glared at their screens, bewildered by the anomalies. From the beginning, the anomalies were excused as minor errors, however they soon became excessively regular and too whimsical to even think about neglecting. On Ventra, the unsettling influence showed all the more ominously. In the little state of Ventra, settled close to the edge of the desert, life happened as expected until one critical evening. The colony, home to a few hundred souls, was a close-knit community where everyone knew each other. Children laughed and played in the streets, while grown-ups converged around common flames, sharing stories and food. However, as the sun plunged beneath the skyline, a weird quietness fell over Ventra. The typical corral of nighttime animals stopped, and the air became weighty with an implicit pressure. All of a sudden, the ground shuddered, and a low, tormenting murmur consumed the space. Lights glinted and darkened, creating creepy shaded areas across the settlement. In the colony's main control center, alarms blasted as sensors detected an energy surge unlike anything seen before. The specialists integrated to comprehend the information, their appearances scratched with stress. Outside, the murmur became stronger, reverberating through the very bones of the settlers. Panic began to spread as people rushed out of their homes, searching the skies for an explanation. And afterward, similarly as abruptly as it started, the disturbance stopped. The murmur blurred, the ground stilled, and the lights returned to normal. However, the feeling of disquiet remained, hanging thick in the air. The colonists looked at each other, fear and confusion mirrored in their eyes. What had just happened? What concealed force had upset their lives so unexpectedly? The following morning, the full degree of the aggravation became chillingly clear. Ventra had disappeared. The province, alongside its occupants, had vanished suddenly, leaving just void structures and deserted assets. It was as though the actual texture of reality had been torn open, gulping down the settlement. News about the vanishing spread rapidly all through the Astrium System, casting a shadow over the peace and prosperity that had long reigned. The UGA answered quickly, dispatching investigative groups and expanding safety efforts. Yet, as additional inconsistencies and unsettling influences were accounted for from various corners of the system, it became clear that something undeniably horrible was having an effect on everything. In the Nexus, UGA authorities summoned a crisis meeting. Holographic guides and information streams occupied the room as they examined the examples of the unsettling influences. The conclusion was inescapable: these were not random events. A force of incredible power and malignance was arousing, taking steps to disentangle the actual texture of the Astrium System. As the pioneers pondered, a choice was made. They required their best and most splendid expertise to confront this obscure danger. The call went out to Officer Alara Voss, Dr. Kai Ivers, and Leora Nix, calling them to set out on a mission that would decide the destiny of their reality. Consequently, there began the journey that would lead them to uncover the old and wrathful echo, a journey that would test their mental fortitude, mind, and resolve, and eventually uncover the genuine strength of solidarity notwithstanding enormous misfortunes.